Connecticut Rivers Council Summer Camp Kickoff. So welcome everybody for joining us tonight. We have a great panel and hosts and some great guest stars as well. So just some housekeeping before we begin. This is in webinar mode for those of you that are on Zoom. It's not the usual tiled things. You only see the panelists. However, the chat function and the Q&A function does work. So as you go through and you have some questions, feel free to throw them there. Those of you that are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, again, you can throw your comments in the chat there and we will get to them at the end. And as always, if we don't answer all of your questions tonight, we'll have a way to get in contact with everybody all together. So it's time to meet your hosts tonight for the kickoff. So my name is Pat Boyd, and I am the director at Webster, and I am joined tonight by two of the finest gentlemen that the Connecticut Rivers Council has to offer as co-hosts. So Sean and Jeremy, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Jeremy, you can go first.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Nelson. I'm the director of Camp Mattituck, and thanks, Pat, for putting this together and kind of emceeing for us this evening.
All right, I look forward to the Cub kickoff when you're in the captain's seat. Mr. Fogel, please.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Fogel, Director of Support Service for the Connecticut Rivers Council. If I would have known Pat was asking for HD photographs, I would have sent a better one, but somehow he must have scooped me up on Facebook or something. That's an old picture, but thanks, Patrick.
All right, very good. And we have a couple of guest stars that will be joining us as the presentation goes on. Troop 51's own Ryan Donovan and Cheryl Constantine, Assistant Council Commissioner and NYLT Course Director. So this is just the beginning. So if you're really into Sunday night scouting promos, we have a deal for you. Coming up on January 29th at 7 o'clock is the Council's Cub Scout Kickoff, which we're going to talk all about Cub Scout Day Camp. We're going to talk about Cub Scout Weeblo's Resident Camp. We're going to talk about Family Camp and all that. So please make sure that your packs are aware that big kickoff, it's more of a rally, really, for Cub Scout camping, is going to be in the 29th. And before that, we're going to have a kickoff to talk about Camp Workomen, which is the Connecticut Rivers Council short-term camp that runs an a la carte offerings, the only place in our council where you can do scuba, and a lot of great programs up there at Camp Workomen. So that'll be on Sunday, the 29th at 6 o'clock to kick stuff off. So tonight's agenda is as follows. You've already met your hosts and your panelists, and we're going to dive in deep and talk about what's going on at Camp Mattituck, what's going on with the Council's NYLT National Youth Leadership Training Programs, and what's going on at Webster. And then we'll hit up all the administrative stuff. You know, what are our camp fees for 2023? How do camperships work? And all that stuff that leaders put into it. That's often a thankless job to make sure that all of our scouts have a good and safe time at camp. So we hope to keep our webinar tonight under an hour. And of course, in case you're counting, there are only 152 days, 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 0 seconds until summer camp starts. So it's never too early to get a jump on all of this. And a quiz for my co-hosts. Who said this quote? A week of camp life is worth 6 months of theoretical teaching in the training room. Who said that?
Whoa, I think that was Baden Powell.
Mr. Nelson was quick to the buzzer.
I think that was Baden Powell, Mr. Boyd.
Baden Powell, correct. And I think that guy was onto something because a lot of the things that were put into place over 100 years ago are still practiced today. It's modernized, it's adapted, but the basic stuff. But Baden Powell was spot on with this one. And fortunately, our council leads the way when it comes to outdoor programs in camp. And as we go on, we're going to hear from a parent. But first, let's jump right in to what's exciting with Camp Mattituck. So, Jeremy, the floor is yours.
Sure, thanks, Pat. And Pat, if you can go to the next slide real quick. There you go. So at Camp Mattituck, as we were saying, we have, we're really proud of the program that we put on. And again, this year, we're running with our multiple departments, offering a tremendous amount of program. What you see up on the screen now is really just a list of all the different programs and activities that take place in all of our departments outside of merit badge offerings. So these are programs that patrols, troops, or individual scouts may take part of during their week at camp. And we just thought it was really important to demonstrate and get out to you guys all the different things that are available. Now, all of this information, because I'm not expecting to go through it all and read it to you right now, but I'm also not expecting you guys to take it all in, will be available on our website, which is www.campmattituck.org, and our 2023 program guide will go live later tonight and have all that for you. New for 2023, and some of the things that we want to highlight that are going to be a little bit different this year or be new added to our program is we're adding a new human arcade area, which will feature things like our human foosball, as well as a bunch of really large arcade games made to be able to be played in human form. So that'll be some exciting things going in there. We'll be adding an action archery course, which for those of you that don't know that will be, it's in the bottom picture of the screen there is the device, and it basically shoots a foam target that there are specialized arrows that you can shoot with. Expansion of our Frontier Scout program. So that was or like a frontiersman program. So that was an area that we started last year. It's where we offer our tomahawk throwing, rope making, candle making, as well as some of our axe skills and pioneering merit badges. So that area is expanding this year. We're adding the rocket to the waterfront, which is in the lower portion of the screen there, kind of like a huge round seesaw anchored in one point, and allows you to kind of roll around and have a lot of fun out on the water. Our Leadership Pros program was super popular last year, and it's something that we've started this year to build on again, and that is part of what we've transitioned our COPE program into. We weren't getting a lot of kids in the COPE program just because of the way scheduling was, and a lot of troops wanted to keep their older scouts with their units throughout the day. So we kind of adapted the timing of that program, made it smaller bits and pieces, and really went down to the fundamentals of that being a leadership and team building program, and how important it was to for our scouts to have those opportunities. And then we're expanding our drone program. We started a drone program a little bit last year and just exposed kids to them. We're starting an actual course that's related to that, a couple of different sessions where kids will learn some skills and stuff, and there may be the opportunity for them to take their recreation drone license test there at camp after they do that, which is an online type of testing course that they can take. And as these pictures indicate, we're still going to have all the same fun and excitement that we had last year on top of all that new stuff. So whether it be splatter paint rooms, Trailblazer programs, or what's pictured on the sign right above the Camp Mattituck sign, those three pictures there are some of our adult leader programs. So we have a lot of adult leader training courses that take place, and that happened to be the adult leader float around after they finished the aquatic safety course. So once they finished their course, they all got in their floats and floated around the island for a little bit and had a relaxing time that afternoon. We're continuing our blacksmithing program, which just got a new home last year and has become really, really popular. And then just all the excitement that camp has to bring. Next slide, Mr. Boyd. Camp Mattituck offers over 80 different merit badges on somewhat of a rotational basis. All 80 of those, we offer 80 as our baseline, and we rotate different merit badges in and out every year. So there are some that run on a on and off basis, but you can estimate that there's about 80 merit badges that are offered every year at camp. And again, that schedule will be in our program guide that comes out again later today. As well as the offerings of our regular summer camp program where troops come for their time there with their units. We're offering a bunch of different specialty weeks this year. July 2nd through the 8th, we're offering a family adventure week where scouts may come with their families and participate in some of the programs at camp, and we'll get more information out to that on that individually later. July 9th through the 15th is one of our Trail to Eagle weeks. Those weeks are run actually by members of the Western District Advancement Committee. And so they're going to, scouts are going to sit with people that are doing your board of reviews, going over your paperwork and making sure that you're all getting stuff in line for your Eagle. And what they do that week is they actually go through everything with the kids, go over some of the Eagle merit badges, and they do offer a wide variety of Eagle merit badges, but they also go through the packet, help the kids with the write-up, go through how that should be done, and they do a mock Eagle project, planning all the way through fruition as a group to make sure that the kids have that experience going through it, as well as offering Eagle-specific merit badges throughout the week. We offer a STEM week, another trail, our Trail to Eagle Week, and then an adventure week that goes later on. Our Trailblazers is our provisional camping program. So our Trailblazer program is what would have been traditionally provisional camping. This is for scouts that want to participate in a unit-based activity, but form their own unit. So under the direction of some of our staff members, you can see there Jacob Gannon, who was the Trailblazer Scoutmaster last year. They come to camp individually, sign up individually. We build a unit with them. They elect a senior patrol leader. We had scouts, I can think of at least 3 of them from New York last year that spent the entire summer with us. So all 5 weeks of their summer were spent with us at camp, enjoying the program, getting to meet new scouts, and finding out the opportunities that we have to offer to them. Next slide. Our campsites, we have 11 campsites throughout the camp. Our farthest campsite is about 3/4 of a mile from the dining hall. 7 of these sites have their own showers and regular facilities within the campsite. All of them do have a facility, a latrine, and that kind of thing within them, but 7 of them do include their own showers in the sites. There are 2-person and 4-person tents, cots, mattresses, patrol meeting areas, and some other different activities that we're building into those campsites. Next slide. I also wanted to talk about Scouts BSA Day Camp, which is an offering that we started a couple of years ago. It ebbs and flows in popularity, but it is a way for some of our scouts that maybe can't commit to being overnight. Maybe they have a job they need to work at night, or they're just some of our younger crossover scouts that want to come for a week before they stay a week with their unit and try to get a look at what camp's like. This program allows some kids to earn additional merit badges while not necessarily staying overnight for the entire time. Next. And then if you have any more information or need any more information about Camp Mattituck or any of the programs, our website's there, ConnecticutScouting.org or CTScouting.org has all the information on it as well, or feel free to email me, jeremy.nelson@scouting.org. Thank you very much.
So Jeremy, what are you most looking forward to? I know you secretly are thinking about either the drones or the action archery. I don't know what, you got to have something that you're secretly can't wait to try out.
I'm kind of, as much as the action archery drone's super cool. I'm really excited about that rocket. That looked pretty neat to try out. Watching the videos on it on YouTube, it looks like it gets pretty intense. But truthfully, Pat, I think the human arcade area that we're building is going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to be like one of those things where you don't have to schedule a program. You don't have to. It's come as you can. Come when you have some free time. Check out the area and just do things in it. So I think it's going to be a great addition to the program.
All right. Well, maybe I'll bring a team over and we'll go foosball to foosball with you there. So
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So next, we have an introduction to our National Youth Leadership Training, or NYLT as it's often called, which is the premier youth development leadership program in the Connecticut Rivers Council. And to talk about NYLT is someone who's not new to that program, has served on the last couple of courses, active in council training, is Cheryl Constantine, who is the course director. So Cheryl, please feel welcome here at our Sunday night webinar. Welcome.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me. So as Pat said, I am here to talk about the 2023 National Youth Leadership Training that we have through Connecticut Rivers Council. So this is new for this year. I'll be course director for the program at JN Webster, and we have a second course this year that we've added that we are working hard to get up and going, and that is going to be the week before in the month of July, and that will be at Work Coleman with Jeff Sizer being course director there. So what is NYLT? So NYLT stands for National Youth Leadership Training, as I'm sure you've heard before, but this is a national course that we are offering at the local level. So it's a national syllabus that we follow. And this is a course that is put on for the youth by the youth. So the adults are really there just to guide the program and just make sure everything goes as smoothly as it can. It mimics the month in the life of a troop. So this is it's an exciting time. It's great fun to watch. It's amazing to watch the youth do their thing. This is not a summer camp. This is not scout skills. This is all about advanced leadership training. So you learn about it's an outdoor classroom. Everything is outdoors. We camp for the entire week long. It's a Sunday through Saturday program at both camps. And like I said, it's I can't even say enough about it. It is entirely Scout led. You're going to strengthen your youth. We are, you're looking to send kids that are motivated, the ones that have the energy, and their emerging youth really to their leaders who will be going back to their units to bring back all that they've learned. It's interactive, it's intense. So for that reason, we're looking for any males or females that are willing to put their time and energy towards this course, and they're really mature enough to handle that environment. Scouts must be ages 13 and up and have completed at least their first class or higher ranks. And the prerequisite is that they need to have completed the intro to leadership skills for troops, crews, or ships. Next. So we're gonna, we do ask that they have unit leadership recommendation in order to go. So this year, again, we're gonna be following the wait list. So get signed up as quickly as possible. That way we can get stuff rolling. The course is not closed. However, it might look that way on the website, but please be patient because we will get back to you. And returning again for this year, again, on both courses is going to be the Patrol Adventure Day. So this is a midweek re-energizing day. It's also a great way for them to experience the camp and all the programs that they have to offer. It's following, again, the linked course model that National did put out for us to follow. So this means that there's boy and girl troops. So they're all separated as a troop and in their patrols. But occasionally we do get together as any linked troop would and do some activities and any troop-wide activities. So the details, again, the cost is $350, and you're going to sign up at ctscouting.org. And again, the dates and locations are J.N. Webster is running again this year, the same week, and that's August 6th through 12th. We're looking at about a 1 p.m. drop off on that Sunday and pick up in late afternoon that Saturday. And same thing with Workcomen. Theirs is running July 9th through the 15th. As typical in past years, we're accepting 2 scouts per unit. And of course, additional ones if space is needed. And again, that wait list registration, get on it as soon as possible. The registration is open, and within a week, we'll be contacting the Scoutmaster just to confirm that the unit leadership has made a recommendation for those scouts to attend. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time out tonight, and give me a shout if you have any questions.
So Cheryl, I know you've done a few courses and you've had some of your own scouts go before. Like, what does Scoutmasters tell you after their scout or their SBL comes back? Is there some type of feedback? Is there a noticeable change? What
Yeah, there's never any negative feedback, to be honest, Pat. Everything is entirely positive. They cannot believe how literally right when they come back from this course, they are implementing all that they've learned immediately. I hear about, great patrol leader councils. I hear about great meetings and all the different activities that they learned, all the games and everything. It's fabulous.
All right, awesome. Look forward to the week of NYLT. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about J.N. Webster now and some of the exciting things that are happening this year. The first and foremost, 2023 is the 60th season of J.N. Webster. So it's going to be a year-long celebrations. 60 years is a long time, and we want you to be part of that all together. Those of you that are new to J.N. Webster are in Ashford, Connecticut, which is in the northeast corner. We're just a couple miles from the University of Connecticut's main campus and stores. And basically, we have 3 main program functions. We have in the base camp, which is our primary Scouts BSA resident camp, which we have a 7-week season, 6 weeks of what we consider to be regular program. And week 7 is a specialty offerings at the same time that NYLT is happening. And then we run a 6-week program in our Cub Country, which is Cub Scout Day Camp and Webelos Resident Camp during week 7, and you'll hear more about that next week. We are a camp that is equipped and has operated very successfully with both Scouts BSA boy troops and girls troops, and we welcome Scouts and troops of all different shapes, sizes, experiences, and both boys and girls troops from all over the place as well. And we have specific information about some of the details that may affect linked troops, not linked troops that may come to camp, and there's a number of different options that troops can do. Altogether, we are a camp that values tradition, but we understand that Scouts change and Scouts evolved, and Scouting 60 years ago is different than it is today. But as we said in the beginning of this webinar, the principles from the beginning are still there. So it's a place where really tradition meets adventure. And you just see we're on Boys Life or Scout Life magazine about 2 years ago. And there's a number of traditions from the J&W Paul Bunyan Woodsman to Cattywampus to a number of things that go back a number of years. We're really excited about a number of facilities upgrades that are happening over the next 2 years here at camp. We want to share some of them with you now, and then we'll talk about some of the program stuff. First, we took delivery last week of a complete set of new docks for the base camp waterfront, which is really exciting. They're modern docks. We're going to have a giant A-frame that was there before these things. Awesome would perhaps be the only word that I can come up with that. And I do want to give a public shout out to Stanley Black & Decker, who's based here in Connecticut, a company that donated these docks to camp. So we're really excited to have new docks in camp. Those who've been at camp for a few years know that we have a mishmash of things, some of which were here during our first season in 1964 altogether. The next thing is we received a very generous bequest from a longtime scouter in our council and a former camp director, Peter Perry, who passed away 2 years ago. And we've begun the process of building, not building, but designing and hopefully to start building in 2023, a new reservation support facility that will modernize and house the trading posts, the ever popular clam shack, the Heritage Center, the Health Lodge, and the office. So here's a quick glimpse of what's being worked on right now. We're still in the design phase of it, but it is quite possible as the year goes on, we will have gone out to bid and we'll be in the construction phase as well. So this is really exciting, a major upgrade, probably the biggest facility upgrade at the camp since the dining hall was built in 1964. And just to give you a sense of some other things here, we have a couple of Friends of Webster volunteers who are, by the way, are about 20 feet down, which would be into the water, doing some major repairs to our dam spillway operation system here. We too are going to have some interesting new program equipment in camp. And I'll show you in a minute, but we've reevaluated our BMX program that went in about 4 years ago, and we've made some changes. And one of the changes that we've made is that we're going to be having a pump track instead of a full dirt track. That gives us a more chance to do some things on wheels. And the Friends of Webster has been continuing their pavilion program, and we're in the middle of a construction of a new pavilion for Site 5C in the back there. So units that are accustomed to that camp site will have a new pavilion this season. And perhaps the most notable change comes to the BMX course. So you'll see the bottom picture, which we've completely flattened the BMX course, and there's going to be some parking up there. There's going to be some other stuff. The pump track's going to be up there. But the biggest change is going to be a Fenway Park wiffle ball stadium at the BMX course. So we look forward to and I know some of our units from Long Island or New York City are probably rolling their eyes right now, but we look forward to some spirited competition on Little Fenway Park wiffle ball stadium as the season goes on. So looking to program, we're really excited about this year, bringing back some of the old favorites and introducing some new things. So those of you that are new, we kind of have a tiered program. We have kind of the tier 1, which is our basic program areas, and there's 10 of them from the tech center we call Apex, Aquatics, Biking, Athletics, ecology, conservation, handicraft, industrial arts, which includes blacksmithing, outdoor adventure, which is our scoutcraft area, the first class path, cope and climbing, and shooting sports. And then we have some more advanced outpost programs, one-day type events. The cowboy action shooting is one of our most popular things. For those that are 16 or older, we do the Area 51 Scout Skills course that includes paintball. This includes our ATV program for scouts that are older, and a full range course. And then we utilize the 1,200 acres of the camp's reservation for that. And then our third tier is our specialty camps, which really jump in for a week in depth during week 7. Again, our main philosophy is that every troop is in a different place. And every troop has strengths, weaknesses, adventures, things that you do in the off season. Our job is to support the good work that the troop and the youth leadership do year round. So if it's safe, if it's something that you want to do and we have the resources and you ask us as we build the program, our answer is going to be yes if it meets those criteria altogether. And you get a sense of some of the things from the fire service exploring to the zip line to we are very active and loud dining hall. And here's a picture from our Paul Bunyan program on Wednesday nights doing some Dutch oven cooking as a whole. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the Thunderbird program, which is our provisional program. And the Thunderbirds has been a long-standing program where scouts can come to camp without their leadership. And they stay in the Thunderbird campsite, which includes 2 bungalows, a boys' bungalow, a girls' bungalow, as well as tent options. There have been hammocks known to appear in that area as well. And we operate as a cohesive unit over the course of the week. Our website is our main hub for everything that we have. So if you go to our website, which is go2webster.org, and you go to the Scout Resident Camp, which we call the Base Camp Hub, is where all the up-to-date information gets posted as our program folks develop it, iterate it, and again, get it out to push it out to you as well. Active on social media channels. So I know Mr. Fogel has been known to TikTok from time to time. So perhaps he will give us some content for our official TikTok channel. But use our social media channels as a way to help promote camp to your parents and show them what it's about, particularly your new parents who have never been to camp before, to get a sense of kind of what the culture is like, what's to expect. We try to push out content on a regular basis that's both informative as well as gives a sense of the essence of camp as a whole. And as we reflect upon our 60 years, we chose these 2 pictures on purpose. So we have a girls troop that had their first Eagle Scout last year. It's been coming to camp for 2 years, and a boys troop that's been around for a really long time, and get the sense that camp is a community, camp is a culture, camp is a state of mind when it comes to be. And it is in many ways the place that scouts go to be scouts. And we want you to be part of the program. So if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. It's my email address or the website, and we look forward to seeing you this summer. All right, Mr. Fogel, now for the excellent stuff. Are you going to jump in on the TikTok content piece, or are you going to take a pass here?
I am not been known to be a TikToker. I stick to Instagram mostly, I guess. Just a millennial, I guess, doing this thing. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about next phase is going into key dates and some pricing and fees and everything like that. So I wanted to talk first about our campership program. We have a I'm very proud of our campership program that we have in the Connecticut Rivers Council. Last year, we gave out almost $20,000 to scouts in need who couldn't afford to go to camp. And so we augmented whatever the troop and the families could do. So this year, our campership form is already up and running. It's on our main website. There. If you go to ctscouting.org, you go to camping, it's on the main page down there on the bottom. There's a button there. If you go to the Scout BSA page, and then if you're on the Cub Scout camping page as well. So the buttons everywhere. We do need the campership forms. Those are going to be collected and due by April 1st. I'll say that again, campership forms will be due by April 1st. They're live now, so go ahead. You're going to need information from the family as best you can. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. or our camping assistant, Michelle Supposedly at the office. The one thing I do want to talk about too is we're very proud of the way we budget and how we can keep camp as economical as possible. And if you look at other camps in our area, I think you'll see that a lot of other camps are maybe a little bit more pricier or what have you. We're able to stick with a $500 early bird fee. So if you pay in full by May 1st, you're going to get into that early bird fee of $500. The regular fee is $530, but we want everyone and as many as possible to pay that $500 amount. And the only way we're able to do that is through the generosity of the Lucia and Buck Foundation grant, or aka the Buck grant. They were able to give us basically $30 off for every scout that comes to camp, and that's what you're seeing there. And the one thing also, so we're going to be a little aggressive with other discounts. Our sibling discount is going to be it's $25 per sibling, but how it's going to be in the system, and this is an important distinction, it's going to be buy one kid get 50 off, and that's for the siblings. So if you have if you have a set of sisters or brothers, sign one up, and then the other one will get the $50 off. And the way also, so that just happens synonymously right away, instantly into the system when you register. And that'll just take off. Once again, if we have issues, we can work through them. Just work through me and Michelle, and we'll get you taken care of. The one thing also with the camperships, the way we have it set up a bit differently is through right through Blackpug, which is our registration system for camp. So also when the campership you apply, we see it, we approve of it, you'll automatically see it right away on your registration. So that's why it's important to, one, register as soon as you can, and also to do that campership as soon as you can. But yeah, May 1st is the deadline for the early bird fee.
So, Sean, is it true that $500 is a lot of money? We recognize that, and it's an investment in the program, and we believe in our program. But also comparing to councils around the Northeast, where do we fall in that spectrum?
So I think most councils that I've seen, especially in the Northeast region, and we've done a lot of research, Pat, and we've talked about this, costs went up crazy amounts, and we took it on the chin the past couple of years, and we just couldn't afford to do that while also maintaining the high level of camps that we have. And if you look across the board, most councils are either way above us, or significantly above us in pricing, or they went up the same amount as we did. I can think of maybe one or two camps that might be just maybe $5 to $10 cheaper than us. But we feel like our camp is awesome, and you and Jeremy and the Coleman staff do a great job, and we want to hire more quality staff. We want to keep the quality staff that we have, and we want to just keep adding to our program, not just rest on our laurels. So that's what you're seeing with that price. But I feel really strong about that. And like I said, there are most camps, especially in our area, especially when you consider New York, New Jersey, those other areas, those other councils and camps, they really, really went up in price. And we tried to stay as conservative as we could.
Yep, realizing that we're not immune from inflation, the cost of goods, supply chain, all that stuff as well.
Right.
The question came up in the chat. Do we have to put deposits in March, or if we pay in full by May 1st, do we lock in that $500?
Well, I want you to put in the deposit as soon as you can, but we will accept that May 1. The reason being, it just helps us be prepared, right? So the scouting motto, and it helps us be prepared for how many kids are coming, right? So big difference between 1,500 kids and 2,000 kids, right? So and that's what we're looking at really both camps. We do expect a big surge just because of our pricing is aggressive compared to most. So we would like everyone to at least let us know you're coming first and foremost, and then but yes, short answer is no. You can pay by May 1st.
So the big date everybody should walk away with, right, is May 1st, right, to secure the lowest possible discount if you pay in full by May 1st. Because those of you who've been camping with this council for a long time, realize that in the past the scheme was you had to put in a $50 deposit by a certain date, and then follow that up with the full payment by a certain date to get the discount. What we're saying is, be honest with us with what you're bringing,
right?
And if you pay by the full discount, the full amount by May 1st, you lock in that $500. And knowing that Webelos crossovers and those kids that are brand new to scouting, those deals, they will not get charged a late fee
Right.
because they just joined your unit and that
Right.
type of thing. Now,
So
the question also came up
Sure.
about multiple week campers. If I'm going to the Jamboree or I am coming to camp, week 1, or I'm going to Philmont, what do those look like?
So once again, this the price has allowed us to be aggressive again with this as well. So multi-week discount has not gone up in price. We're charging. So if you come to us 1 week, or if you do a Philmont or even another camp, and then you come to us, we'll give you a multi-week discount. It's going to be $350 for if you come to 2 weeks of us or 1 week of us, and then 1 week of somewhere else. We're able to do it for $350, which I think is just an awesome that we're able to do that. Jamboree, we will have a special Jamboree pricing. You're just gonna have to let us know, because Jamboree is very specific, right? We only have about 80 kids from our council going, so we'll make deals with people on an individual basis. I want to say it's also going to be the multi discount as well at the $350, but there may be some more wiggle room there depending on certain scenarios. And I would like to say, since I know we have almost about 100 people on this call, either on the Zoom now or on virtual through Facebook, this is a flat rate that we have for everybody, right? That 500 early bird fee. There is no out of council. We kept it as simple as possible with that May 1st. So we really didn't want, I worked in other councils before where it was, pat your head and stand on one leg and jump around, and then you'll get, another $10 off here. We kept it as boilerplate as possible. And I'm very excited about that. So I don't know if there are any other questions about this.
No, those are good things. And just one point to make to everybody about the second week discount. You can't apply it for a week later on. So the program, you have to have gone to camp in order to apply it there. So you can't say, hey, we might come back week 6. Can we have can we have the second week discount week 1? That's your first week of camp, right? And if you go to the sea base in March, that's not within the spirit of we're operating. We're talking about during the summer season, having the second week discount. So.
And our camperships are, are really for our in council. And then if you have certain scenarios, right? So if it gets to April 1st, everything's looking good, you don't need camperships, or you already applied for the scouts that need it, but something devastation happens, right? Something catastrophic happens, let us know. We always try and hold a little bit back of our campership funds for the God forbid, the scout's house that burned down, or whatever that may be, family lost their job at the last minute before summer. Just keep us in the know, right? We have funds either through the camps that have their own fundraising arms, or ourselves. So we do try and make finances the last reason why a scout can't enjoy camp.
All right. Awesome, Sean. Thank you. All right, just a quick notice, everybody, that once again, merit badges at both Camp Mattituck and J.N. Webster are going to be online blue cards. It was a success at both camps last year. So the merit badge registration process will open for both camps in March. So you'll start to see the releasing of the program guides as the end of the month comes up. But the actual registration for merit badge using the Black Pug system will open in March, and we'll have some specific instructions how you do that. It's all tied to the registration for units leaders that put down the $100 site deposit. That's your account that you'll keep coming back to as you add kids to your roster and you register as well. So look for some more communication in March on that. And I would be a dereliction of duty if I did not speak for the health officers and all of our camps and our nurses. That now is the time to start the conversation with your parents about health forms. There's the BSA required health forms and an annual physical for all participants. But the state of Connecticut does require some additional forms, particularly for those that may have a special care plan, prescription medications, diabetes, and things like that. So please start this conversation and process now with your parents to get the physicals. The physical forms are on the council and the camp's websites. And as a note, if you're an out of council unit, please make sure that if you have a scout that fits those categories, that you do have the Connecticut specific addendums, which were part of the package altogether with that. Jeremy, you want to talk about camp staff and CIT recruitment?
Absolutely, Pat. Thanks for turning that over. So we want to encourage you to encourage as many of your scouts as possible to sign up to be a CIT or to join a member of the camp staff. I can't tell you that there's fewer things that I am more proud of than being a member of our council's outdoor programs team. We do put on incredible programs at all of our camps and with our NYLT programs. Sean, Pat, and myself get together often, and we talk about one of the things that we really enjoyed, and the reason that we're still doing this is we had incredible experiences as camp staff members when we were 15 and 16 years old, or as CITs when we were 14. And that really helps to build our program, but it strengthens your troop programs as well. There's an incredible amount of leadership development and knowledge that our scouts come away from our being a camp staff member or a CIT, and they gain a lot of insight into what goes on at our camps and what goes on in our program areas, and be able to take that back to your unit as well. So I can't emphasize enough that the importance of having some of your scouts join the camp staff or to join our CIT program. There's openings in all of our camps in all the different program areas. If you're an adult and want to join our camp staff or come out and volunteer for a week, there's opportunities for that as well. If you want to spend more time at camp, there's ways to make that work as an adult, whether it be a paid staff member or as a volunteer, or again, make sure to encourage your scouts that are 14 to become CITs or that are 15 or 16 to join us, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in college, to join us to be a member of the camp staff. And then you can, of course, find either of our staff applications on our camp's websites, which is either go to webster.org or campmattituck.org.
All right, so as we wrap up here tonight, if Sean, Cheryl, and everybody wants to come back up, just kind of a quick conversation. We can answer questions that happen all together here. So we'll go to the traditional Hollywood Squares view here.
Zoom view there.
Yeah. So, just some of the questions that I've seen pop up, are about, there's been questions about day camp. Jeremy talked about it. We do have the day camp options for every program with the exception of NYLT, which is exclusively a resident program. Obviously, we prefer the resident camp model. It's a lot to be had for that, but we also understand that everybody is in a really different place. But particularly with brand new scouts coming to camp, sometimes you get them through that first or second night and realize that the woods are not that dark or that deep. The end of the rest of the week, things are good. So we don't like pushing the day option first, but we realize that there is scenarios that it works, and it's really important for the resident camp has value with that.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. I'm going to throw out some of the questions. Timeline for hiring a 60-year-old staff member. So applications are open for all the camps now. And usually the end of January, we start getting back, and there's different interview days that can be on Zoom or in person. Is that correct on your end, Jeremy?
Absolutely. We do Zoom or in-person interviews, and those go usually once or twice a month, right through March. And then it's usually around the April timeframe where they'll get a confirmed, like, here's your contract email from the council and with all that type of information. But shortly after the interview, they usually hear from myself or a program director about what we're looking at. But
Okay.
yep, as long as they filled out an application and then.
So Cheryl, if there's a youth who's attended NYLT and has had some interest in joining the staff, is there a process or a vetting process for that?
So I believe there's also an application online on our webpage that they can fill that out, or they can just get in touch with either myself or Jeff Sizer.
Okay, excellent. A question has popped up from Judith about adults and medication health forms. So health forms are required for everybody who is staying overnight in camp. The question about medications often comes up with staying in the health lodge. It's really an important conversation with the nurses during check-in. Typically adults can keep their own medication, but youth medication has to be administered through the health lodge. But we also just want to make sure we know all of that stuff as well. Health forms due. Jeremy, you want to talk about when they're due in your part of the world?
When health forms are due in my part of the world?
Yes, sir.
So we look at our health forms during our program planning meetings with each of our scouts and adult leaders. So they bring those during a program planning meeting, which is traditionally the week before your unit comes to camp. They bring them with them. Our health staff goes through each of the medical forms then, lets you know if there's any issues with it, flags them, that kind of thing. can talk to an adult leader about any of the issues that they see, and then we collect them physically with the scout on the day they arrive on to camp. So on that Sunday, we do have some units that send them in a little earlier to take a look at them, but traditionally it's best if we can see the adult and the med forms and talk through any issues that arise.
So at Jane Webster this year for health forms, we're going to continue to have a couple in-person health form check days where we have a bunch of nurses and folks who will take a look at them with you and give them back, hopefully with a thumbs up that everything is good. Occasionally there has to be a sticky note on it. If you can't attend one of those days or you have your forms together, you're traveling a distance, you can, we ask that you send them to us at camp 2 weeks before your arrival, so we can thumb through them and go from there. It's really successful. Last year doing it this way, some came in person, some sent them ahead of time, and we want to make sure that we accommodate that. But start the process now with your units. Let's see, NYLT question. Yes, NYLT is overnight. And Cheryl, do you just want to say again, it starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday?
Correct. It starts on Sunday, ends on Saturday. It's overnight, and everybody must attend for the entire week in order to get credit for having gone through the program.
Yep, very good. Somebody asked what we pay camp staff. It is more than just a salary. It's a vocation of sorts and life skills. But you know, we try to be as competitive as possible, but realize that we're also a very different model than other places as well. I don't know if you want to, I'm tap dancing through that question. I don't know if Jeremy or Sean want to add to that.
I think you did a fine job tap dancing.
Right.
Another follow-up question on the fee structure. We put it out or a couple slides earlier. It's going to be $500 before May 1st, 5:30 after that. There will be a full one-pager on fees, schedules, dates, times, refunds, all those things that we will circulate this week, and it will be posted on all of our websites to reference back to with your scouts with that. With a great question, when weeks fill up, we'll be able to see that online. Yes. Speaking just from the Jane Webster point of view, there's a couple weeks that we're watching very closely. We're very close to closing down week 3 because of the number of units that have saved the spot already. And we're also looking at week 6 as well. So yes, we would encourage your unit to please, if you want to come as a unit and there's a particular week that you are really attached to, please get in your site deposit now, because we may close. Last year we closed down 2 weeks in March, and we anticipate that to happen again. And if you're curious, you know, some units like to come, you know, whatever the smallest week is. Some units love to come when it's the place is a buzz. I would say contact Jeremy or I with your particular you know, questions, needs, knowing that there will be some time going forward. The question is, will the Fenway Park Wiffle Ball Field be open this summer? Our goal is to have it open. John, maybe for a sponsorship fee, you can throw out the first pitch here. So we look forward to that. There are new merit badge offerings in both camps, and we'll be releasing that full matrix altogether. I know at Webster we rotate some, we add some new ones. We're looking over some of the new requirements that came out from the National BSA program as well. Question for Sean: can the sibling discount be used for brother or sister scouts if they're in different units, different weeks, or maybe one's a Cub Scout doing resident camp and one's a Scout BSA?
Yes, for sure. We just have to, you're not going to see that right away when you register. We just have to just reach out to us, and we'll have to play those as one-offs, but yes.
All right, excellent. You know, Eagle Weeks, Jane Webster is going to be week 1 with some special offerings week 6. And Jeremy, your Eagle Week is going to be week, you said it on.
It's 2 and 4.
Okay. Great question came up about dining hall and camp process. I think referencing back to a lot of the restrictions with COVID. I don't know if you want to go first, and then I'll follow it up.
Sure. So our dining hall operation is going to be very similar to how it ran last year. So we have family style breakfast and dinner, and then we have grab and go, or not grab and go, but you know, kind of a come as, and it's the time rolling. There's the word I'm looking for. Rolling lunchtime, right? So it runs from 11 to 1:30 for lunch. So your scouts come in when it fits into their program time during that lunch block. But our breakfasts and dinner are still going to be family style, served at 8 and 6, and then the rolling lunch occurs as it fits into your scout schedule or your troop schedule.
Yep.
It is all sit in the dining hall where you guys are comfortable. We did offer some outside seating last year if a scout or troop felt more comfortable with that, but for the most part, it is back to normal dining.
Yep. So we, Jane Webster, we are operating the same way we did last year with breakfast and lunch being buffet style and dinner being sit down. And we are continuing some of the outdoor options, and we don't anticipate having to make some of the pivots we had to before.
Right.
All right. I guess as we're coming up against the end of the hour here, we want to kind of give last thoughts as we work our way around the square. So I don't know, Cheryl, you want to go first with your last word, the last thought of the evening?
So I think, ending on the note of NYLT, I would get registered as soon as possible. Because if there's if you prefer 1 week over the other, then you should probably jump on that as soon as you can.
Excellent. Jeremy, last word on your side.
Absolutely. So as I was saying before, and I guess I want to reiterate again, this is my 27th year working in a summer camp this summer, and it's incredibly proud. How I feel incredibly proud of the program that we've all put on. We work great together as a council outdoor programs, and I think any of the options that were talked about tonight or any of the programs that are here provide an incredible benefit to all of your scouts and your units. And I hope to see you at one of, if not all 3 of the programs that we spoke about tonight and in our camps and properties. So thank you all very much for joining us tonight.
Excellent. Sean, last word.
Yeah, no, echo all the sentiments. I really appreciate the camp staffs and Jeremy and Pat, Camp Mattituck and Webster, and the guys at Wacoman, and Cheryl and the volunteer crews that are doing the NYLT courses. We run really, really good program here and really, really good camps. And I'm just excited to continue that, build that off of this season and the seasons in the future. You saw all the great stuff that's coming to the camps this summer, and just wait till, what are we going to do in 2023? Can't wait to see what we do in 2024 and beyond and beyond and beyond, shaping generations of kids. And hopefully we'll, you're going to see great customer service out of us, just really competitive pricing. I just feel really good about where we're at in 2023, and I'm excited to see you at summer camp.
All right, excellent. So I'll end with this. Unlike these guys who picked nice, clean hats for the program, I picked the dirtiest, most camp-worn hat that I could find on the way out in anticipation for the summer. But summer camp, the stats say that if a kid in your troop or your pack for that matter comes to camp, the chances are they'll stay with the program. And so, we really encourage parents and leaders to, spread the good word, try to get scouts in camp. We'd love for you to camp in the Connecticut Rivers Council. We have troops that last time I counted between the 2 camps, close to 15 different councils that choose to come to Connecticut for summer camp. And so if you are a Connecticut Rivers Council unit, please, give us a look. We are the home team for you. And we really believe in what we're doing. And we want you to be part of it. So, even if it's participating in a small program, we're not saying to bring your whole troop from somewhere else, but show what we offer. If you haven't had scouts do NYLT, take a look at it. It's very, very different than it was 5-6 years ago as well. And then this is really just the beginning of the conversation. As we sit here in January with a winter storm advisory, at least in Windham County where I am, that summer camp is only a few months away, and there's a lot of work that's getting done. We're putting the work in on our side, trying to build teams, trying to build camp staff, trying to invest in parts of camp to make it worth it. And we really want to partner with you so that you guys leave camp at the end of the week and you're energized heading into the fall and your scout year starts off great. So we will have more individual breakouts as the months goes on from each camp and each program. But please feel free to reach out with any questions. We will get this recording out fairly shortly to folks that couldn't make it. And we appreciate a little part of your Sunday. And don't forget the Cub Scout and Camp Wacoman webinars on the 29th. All right. Everybody, have a great night.